So the workshop is a complete disaster. Again. Hi guys and welcome back to the show. Today we need to clear out some space in the workshop and then we're going to build two simple shelves. So let's not waste any more time and get right down to it. What I'm trying to do is to free up this entire long wall here, and I want my miter station to take up all this wall. So that's the goal behind this. I need to take the cupboard. I'm going to place it there. Look, I am a Nomad's Projects. IKEA wood. So this is the shelf in question, and you can see that it's already filled up with junk basically, and I need more space, so I need to utilize everything I got down here. And as a little bit of a challenge to myself, I'm going to try to build this with the crappiest wood I have laying around. So it's 83.7 by 47. I took some 2x4 construction timber from my stack of leftovers and marked it using a framing square. Making sure I was on the waist side of the line, I made the cut with my miter saw. And of course making sure that the blade came to a complete stop before lifting the saw. I made the cut a little bit long, as it is always easier to remove wood than to put it back. And this is how I creep up on a cut using a miter saw. I push the piece of wood gently towards the blade, that makes the blade flex a little bit, then I lift the saw and make the cut. This is a trick I learned from Keith at Dragonbone Brown, and as always, there's a link in the video description. And here comes another trick from Keith's book. A safer way to make really narrow rip cuts is to mount a stop block on the opposite side of the blade from the fence. I've kept this shot real time so you can see how narrow the rip really is. And now it's really easy to make repeatable cuts. All you have to do is to readjust the fence every time. And here are the finished stretchers, ripped down to 33 by 33 millimeters, carefully watched over by Baby Vader. I drilled pilot holes for the screws, and these will be simple butt joints. And what would an episode of a Nomad's Projects be without the appearance of my homemade 3D printed clamps? I just love these. Recently I tore down an IKEA wardrobe, and I have a lot of these short chipboard pieces laying around. They were the perfect length for this project. Of course there are some holes and stuff in them, but I just filled them with some silicone. I used a knife to mark the cutouts for the posts, and then I cut them out using my tenon saw. I grip the workpiece kind of like you hold vegetables when chopping them with a chef's knife. That way you can rest the tenon saw on your knuckle and you get a real stable cut. Because the chipboard is really thin, and since this really isn't an exhibition piece, I screwed the shelf pieces in from the top. Then I could measure the remaining space and rip down the last piece on my homemade table saw, which I have to say I really like using now after I made the fence for it. The last piece slipped right in and then I fixed it with screws. Even though this is a storage shelf, I don't want to look at that exposed chipboard. So I ripped down some more pieces of construction timber and used them as a kind of edge banding. And I also managed to hit the camera while making this rip cut. These edge bands are really narrow, and to stop them from splitting I cut the tips off the nails. I got this tip from McCluney. He's got a really nice laid back woodworking and tinkering channel. And if you're into bluegrass, he's got some really nice surprises for you. I used marking tape to hold the edge piece in place, then I fixed it with a bead of glue and the nails are just cut. And finally I could fill those pesky holes with some silicone. The silicone is really easy to shape and push in place if you wet your hands first. Then you can just wipe it off with a paper towel afterwards. So there we have it, guys. An ugly shelf made out of crappy wood filled with junk. And I even made 2 of those. But like I told you, all of this is in preparation for the miter station build. And that will be coming up at some time in the future. But that is it for today, guys. I really hope you liked the video. Remember to leave a thumbs up if you did. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. And if you feel so inclined, there's a Patreon link and Amazon affiliate links in the video description. Catch you guys in the next one.